Hello everyone, my name is Abimbola Akiumi. Good to have you back on Now That You Are Married. Today we'll continue on adjustment. Last time we were looking at what adjustment is. Your ability to accept that you now have a partner that can run this marriage with you without falling into errors, that is able to take decision on behalf of the two of you and will still take a right decision. Today, I want us to look at an aspect that we don't so much pay attention to, but is very vital. That is being able to distinguish between the phrase we and I. You know, subconsciously, we say a lot of things in marriage that are not supposed to be. For example, my room. In some homes, you find the master's bedroom belonging to just the man of the house, and then there is mommy's room. These two are supposed to be together without anything being able to separate you. It is the beginning of great issues. It's not my room, it should be our room. Not my car, but our car. Not my sitting room, my chair, my children, but using the phrase we. Because whatever belongs to you actually belongs to your spouse. I know you won't like that. You won't like that, especially when it has to do with finance. But that's not what we're looking at today. We just want to look at your ability to consciously correct your terminology, your use of words, especially when you're talking about your marriage. I would also like us to take a good look at temperamental differences. When you talk about temperament, you're talking about a force behind every human action. We want to look at what kind of temperaments does your spouse have. Is it the very careless type? Is it the very angry type? Is it the person that takes decision on impulse? Is it someone that gives thought to issues before reaction? Is the person someone that makes friends easily? Is the person an extreme extrovert? Still talking about temperament. Is it somebody that does not see things from other people's view? Now let's take it one by one. If your spouse is the careless type, it's not the end of the world. You should be able to correct that aspect or bridge in the gap. You be the one that will be on the lookout for things that you have. For example, I forget things. Sometimes I have a plan of doing things, but I just forget. It's human. That does not make me less of a human being, and that does not make me less of a perfect woman for my husband. But he is there to complement. That's the word. You're supposed to complement each other. The lapses of one should be patched up by the other person. If your spouse is the careless type, then you should be on the lookout for those things that are likely to get lost in the course of the other person being careless. When I talk about carelessness, I'm not saying carelessness in terms of fond, but I'm talking about being careless. One can be careless with words. One can be careless with information that you're not supposed to allow other people know, in all freeness of mind, it is released, and then the person that you didn't expect to get to know about your issues get to know about it. Then you should know how to correct your spouse without actually getting the person angry. Because in the course of correcting, if you are not careful, you end up bruising your spouse's ego. And you look at yourself and say, what kind of life is this? Do you think I can't handle this? Do you think you can't even tell me anything because you're afraid I will tell others? You don't write your spouse off in spite of whatever temperament the person might have. Now, when you talk about anger is a very serious issue. Many homes are being seriously damaged by the reason of anger. Now you have noticed your spouse to be someone that gets angry easily. Your own duty is to avoid anything that can trigger that anger. For example, how do you react when your father is getting on the edge? How do you bring the person back on track without pushing the person off the edge? Someone is already, seemingly getting annoyed about issues, and it is at that point you're rubbing in your mind. You're telling the person, no, you are so wrong. That's part of what we need to look at very critically. You must be able to handle that situation in a way that you don't get the person off the edge, that it becomes irredeemable. Handle the anger. You can handle it. You can control it. You can control it when the person is screaming and then you are just calm and you're looking. honestly, you get the person to bring down his voice. Some people feel they only win the discussion when they are shouting. But you have chosen to be calm. You will discover that in no time, the person that is shouting or screaming will bring down his or her voice just because the other partner is quiet. Another angle I want us to look at this temperamental issue is failure to accept correction when you are wrong. A lot of people feel when they are wrong, it makes them less human, so to say. But that's not true. They don't even want to hear it. The moment you begin to say, you didn't do this thing correctly, it snaps. We must be able to control it. Know that you are human. Angels don't live on earth. You're human. It means we have the tendency of making mistakes. We have the tendency of going into error. But your ability to accept it when you're wrong and apologize. It's especially men. Saying you're sorry does not make you less of a man. But it's accepting that, okay, I'm human, I can be wrong, and then you can be corrected. But people don't want to be corrected. They jump at every criticism. The moment you begin to block out the fault, the women, they have their own special way. They just begin to cry. It's saying, no, don't tell me my fault. I don't want to hear it. That's not right. Then what you are doing is you are telling your spouse, don't tell me when I am wrong. We must be able to accept it. When you're wrong, accept it and then make amends. Ensure that you don't fall into such error again. Take to correction. See it from the other person's. You are not, nobody is perfect. Nobody is perfect. And I've seen a lot of people that they feel they have this perfectionist tendency. Whatever I say, I know I've thought thoroughly about it. I can't make mistake. So when the other person goes wrong, sometimes it's not that you don't make mistake. It's just that your spouse decided to be quiet about it. So that does not make you a perfect person. And that does not mean that when the other person goes wrong, that's when you are now. You see, you're always making mistakes. I've told you over and over again. You said you were sorry last week. Now you're sorry again. Keep accepting yourself. You know what? You're stuck together. If you really want to make a success of this marriage, just know it that this ship has 2 captains. And those captains must work in harmony. They must work together as a team. You must work together, ensuring that this ship gets to a safe abode. You're taking it to the shore, to a safe place. So when one person suggests something, think about it. You don't have to respond immediately. Think about it, digest it, and then get ready to accept that you're wrong whenever you are wrong, and get ready to apologize. Have you ever thought about it? I don't know if this has ever happened in your home. That you begin to ask yourself, who is responsible for what in the house? I've had newlywed share the responsibility by ratio. A lady once told me, we have agreed that I'll be contributing 35% and my husband will be contributing 65% to the funding of the home. I don't know what formula you have been using, but finance is a thing that we can't take in a hurry. We'll still come back to it. But I just want to say this briefly, that if you two begin to see each other as partner in progress, partner working together to ensure that the marriage does not fail, then finance should not be an issue, except where you find that your spouse is wasteful or is keeping his own money and encouraging you to spend yours. Otherwise, your money should be our money, not my money. Many people don't want to hear this. They don't want to, no. Keep your money, I keep my money. Fine. I'm not suggesting joint account if it's not working for you. I'm only saying that you have joint responsibilities in the running of the home. Especially when your children begin to come. He has paid school fees. You should be busy buying school uniform, buying school shoes, buying school bags. Do you know that sometimes you spend more money, cooking meal in the house, more than you spend paying house rents? Have you ever thought about it? But when you begin to see that we're in this together, whatever I do, we have done it together, it will work better. It will work more easier. And not only that, you find that there's a connectivity that is growing between two of you. In fact, you begin to think alike. You begin to talk alike. When you want to do something, you find the two of you jumping and doing same thing. Just because you have the chemistry working intimately between you. Let me play this scenario for you. A husband and a wife just got home, and they are both sharing experiences of the day. Oh, I took one route and then I was able to get home in good time. Oh, I took the other way, there was so much of, I've always told you that place is always, that's the partner that got home early. I've always told you, that area, you don't take it. You should have known that there will be traffic because it rained. That place is always flooded. And the other party is like, I never knew, I took the place yesterday. How do you handle that? Is it that the person that first spoke was wrong? What was actually wrong was presentation. How did you present it? Oh, that place, you should have known that is always flooded. Hey, yeah, sorry. Bele. Being compassionate. Don't see yourself as being perfect because it might be your own route that will be blocked another time. And how would you feel if your spouse and I say, well done. I've told you, this place you're always taking. Nobody wants to be castigated, even when you're already feeling pain. You are already feeling pain that you went through it. And then you're looking for succor. And then the only thing you can say to your spouse is rubbing it in. It's like putting pepper inside a wound. And then all in the name of correcting. That's not correction. We must learn to accommodate each other. You must learn to understand each other. You must learn to see things from the other person's perspective. You must learn to know that you are not even a perfect person. That perfect persons don't live on this earth. You are complementary to each other. The flaws of your spouse is supposed to be made up by you. So if the flaw is showing, it means you are lacking your own responsibility as a good partner to that spouse. You don't need to expose your partner's deficiency. What you need to do is to bridge it. Be the gap. Be the missing thing. Be the answer to the question is unable to answer. Be the solution to the challenge that your spouse is facing. And that is what makes a good marriage. I know you can do it. You can work on it. All it takes is for you to make up your mind. Make up your mind that this marriage, I'm going to give it my best. I'm ready to make it work. I'm ready to play my role. If not for yourself, you can do it for your children. I want to ask you a question. Whose responsibility is it to cook? Whose responsibility is it to do the laundry? Who is supposed to take care of the children? Who is supposed to do the cleaning of the home? Whose responsibility is it to pay school fees? Who is supposed to take care of the holiday of the children? These are questions that have created a lot of troubles even in homes. There are no fast rules to all of these questions that I've asked you. It's just a matter of convenience. We have seen homes where it's the man that goes out 5 a.m. and comes back late in the night. When is he going to do the cleaning of the sitting room? But the woman gets home earlier. And we've also seen homes where it's the woman that leaves 5 a.m. and comes back very late. The man has flexible timing. Then when is she going to be able to settle down and do your cooking? Do what is convenient for your family. Don't measure the running of your home with another home. Because what might be convenient in my home may not be so convenient for you. But well, I'm an African to the very core, and I believe the place of a woman. In fact, your first office is in your kitchen. I know you won't like this. Many of us won't like it. But that's the truth. That's the way we were raised. Regardless of your level of education, if you are not a good cook, you're not fulfilling your destiny as a woman. You don't have to be the one cooking it. All I'm saying is provide good meals for your family. There are people that are professionals. They do all the cooking. Go patronize them. But you get it and put it on the table for your family. That is the duty of them. Not only a duty of a woman, that is what makes you a mother in your home. Your children look up to you to serve their meal. They want mommy to be there. They want mommy to be there to do this, to do that. May I shock you that if you look through your own life, you look at the life of your mom or the life of your grandmother, there were situations whereby they had to let go what they loved doing just because they wanted to take care of you as their own child. What price are you paying? What price are you ready to pay for the growing, for the living, for the training, for the discipline of your children, even as a mother in the home? I'm not saying it should be left to you as a woman, but what I'm saying is the running of the home is actually majorly, expectedly to be the responsibility of the mother of the home. No offense at all. If you have any question you want to ask, or you have any idea, or you have an experience you want to share, you have different forums through which you can do that as displayed on our screen. I'll be waiting for your question and you'll hear from me in due course. I can go on and on and on because it's unending, but that's all we'll have for now. I remain Abimbola Kiyomi, Ili Okoya, now that you are married.